If you are a health professional who looks to provide personalized, holistic solutions for your patients, Chinese herbal medicine can be a powerful tool. In this video, I will introduce you to the Chinese herbal medicine certification programs as I teach them at Academy of Holistic Healing Arts. My name is Marina Danilova. I'm the Academy founder. But above all, I'm a practitioner, a clinician. So just like you, I look for ways to help my patients more effectively. I know that's your objective too. When we choose to use herbal medicine as a tool, it's obvious we need to know herbs. But to elevate our results, elevate our impact as a practitioner, takes more than learning herbs. Let me explain. Medicine is a science and practice of caring for a patient, managing the diagnosis and prognosis, prevention and treatment, optimizing or promoting health. But what makes medicine a science rather than a set of tools and techniques? That's of course a root. Biomedicine or conventional medicine, with all the specialties, diseases and treatments, is rooted in the basic principles of biology, chemistry, physics. If we want credibility, clarity and meaningful results when we practice Chinese medicine, we first of all need to approach it as a science too. We need to start with clear answers to questions such as what is life? What is human life? What is the living body? Not theories, not tools. They come later. First, we need to find a life principle, a law that we can use as foundations for all other knowledge. This slide illustrates how the knowledge is built at my certification programs. Having established the life principle, we can then comprehend and explain health and the functioning of the healthy body. We can think about and deduce disharmonies, pathologies. We can increase the accuracy of the diagnosis and have a clear treatment strategy from the start. When it comes to herbs, herbal methods, herbal formulas, they too are learned as an extension of the principle. And this way, they can be truly known, truly understood, rather than copied and memorized. The approach to the foundational theory and herbal application that we learn stems from Shang Han Lun as taught by Zhen Jinan. Shang Han Lun, or originally Shang Han Zabin Lun, is a Han Dynasty classic attributed to Zhang Zhongjin. Zhang Zhongjin further developed the theories laid out in the Huang Di Neijing, the Yellow Emperor in a classic, and made them practical for clinical use, especially when it comes to herbal application. Zhen Jinan is a Qin Dynasty scholar physician who's often referred to as the originator of the fire spirit school. Zhen Jinan managed to penetrate right into the heart of the classics, and that's how the classics are used as sources in my programs. I offer you the timeless truth that is contained within them, and this way you get to learn the approach that is ready to use and it is directly applicable to your clinical practice today. Let me illustrate how we learn Chinese herbal medicine step by step. We begin with an inquiry into questions fundamental to medicine. What is life? What is the living body? We start with the ancient principle of life, yang, movement, heaven, merging with the body, yin, material, earth. The yin-yang dance is symbolized by the image of an empty circle, the Tai Chi principle. Life from nature comes into our body, moves inwards, gets transformed and becomes our own on the right side of the circle, and then our own life goes outwards, is being used and expressed on the left side. To help us contemplate this principle, we embrace the language of trigrams from the Book of Changes. Only heaven and earth are pure yang and yin correspondingly. Everything else, all life, is a result of their merging, their marriage. The Kan water and Li fire trigrams in particular help us understand the human body and human heart, the purpose and the processes of two alternating phases of the one circular motion. Any life, including human life, follows the exact same cyclical principle that we can observe all around us in nature. To make it practical, we need to break down the circle just enough for the application of medicine. So we split the circle into yin and yang, the concealed and revealed parts, and then to 3 yin and 3 yang, that are also known as the 6 conformations. So rather than viewing the 6 conformations as levels of disease progression, we learn how this concept can be used to explain life and physiology of the human body as a reflection of the natural cyclical rhythm. This way, the 6 conformations serve as the solid foundation to apply the medicine holistically and ensure a systematic, methodical approach in the clinic. With a firm grasp of the foundations, it becomes clear what we need to understand about the patient to make the treatment successful. We don't have long questionnaires to fill in before the visit. We avoid distraction by leaving out unnecessary details. We focus on what's important and ask questions with structure and purpose. We learn to achieve the level of accuracy that help us avoid big mistakes and anticipate and know how to correct the small ones. We don't resort to a trial and error approach, but have a clear strategy from the start, which makes it easy to communicate the course of treatment to the patient. When treatment works, we understand why. When it doesn't work, we can also understand and explain why. Having understood the functioning of the body as a circular motion, we learn herbs also in relation to the circle. This eliminates the need of remembering many different characteristics of each herb. Instead, we get clear about 3 things. First, which part of the circle the herb has an action on. Second, what direction it goes to. And third, how strong its action is. So, for example, during the diagnosis, we uncover that Zhu-Yin part of the circle is too fast. In plain English, it means the life energy is discharged from the center, from the storage, too abruptly, faster than it should, which can manifest as hot flashes or feeling hot above, cold below, or certain symptoms of dryness. In this case, we should consider herbs that slow down this part of the circle, work in the direction opposite to the natural movement of the circle. And then, depending on the degree of the speeding up of the pathology, we use milder or stronger herbs in lower or higher dosages. In this training, we learn how to start your herbal practice and achieve results using just 25-30 herbs, and then we learn additional 15 to 20 herbs later. Working with small number of herbs makes it easier to source and store them, focusing on quality. But also helps us get to know herbs really well, because then we can experience them on regular basis and learn how they work when combined together. Because each herb's action on the circle is clear, designing and modifying your own formula becomes straightforward and rational. For example, if we need to address the Xiao Yin conformation in the bottom of the circle, which symbolizes the body's ability to store and recharge Yang, store and recharge life, we use herbs that have an action on the bottom right side of the circle that help the downward and inward movement. Then we add herbs that help submerging in the center. And to balance the formula and make it suitable for long-term use, we add a couple of herbs that help the outward action in the bottom left side of the circle. In the same way, if a patient reports an issue after taking herbs, we know exactly which herb is responsible for it and can change the dosage or take it out. As mentioned, the herbal approach we learn stems from Shanhanlun. But rather than learning the classic line by line, we get to learn core methods with their representative formulas, and then they become the basis for our own formula design and modification. Let me emphasize, the approach you take to learning herbs makes a huge difference on the results you achieve for your patients, and of course on your confidence as a practitioner. If we skip the route and put all our focus on learning as many herbs and formulas as we can, yes, we end up with more tools, more therapies, more theories. But on its own, it's not enough to transform our practice. The experience tells us that with this approach, we will still likely have doubts and frustrations and lack the results that we hope for. In contrast, when medicine has a root, it becomes a system. We don't need to rely on copying and memorization. We can truly understand, explain. We feel in charge. We have a methodical approach to the treatment rather than settle for trial and error. We achieve consistent, reproducible results as opposed to random successes. And we apply our medicine in general, and herbs in particular, with clarity, simplicity, and focus. It's a lifetime learning in any case, but very different paths, different results, different impact. So, if you look to apply herbal medicine in a systematic, structured way with consistent clinical results, I invite you to join my certification programs. The full practitioner certification path is designed in 3 steps, and this way you have flexibility to break down your commitment without the pressure of investing into the whole program upfront. It also allows you to take courses separately as continuous education. Each step builds on the previous one, starting from the foundational certification, which in itself is sufficient to start helping your patients with herbs. You get certificates of successful completion, stating the number of class hours for step 1 and step 2, and the completion of all 3 steps leads to Chinese herbal medicine practitioner certification. The training is delivered via virtual learning so that you can enjoy the convenience and flexibility of studying from home while receiving an ongoing support from me in live classes and group forum. From early on in the training, we put theory to practice, so it's a fair amount of time spent on case studies, mine and your own. To illustrate the clinical application, I cover areas related to women's health, chronic complex issues, chronic infections, inflammation, and immune dysfunction. In other words, the conditions that are often not adequately addressed by conventional medicine and for which Chinese medicine can provide powerful solutions. Of course, we practice a holistic medicine, which means we treat the person and not the disease, and therefore the approach we learn is not limited to the concerns that I mentioned and has a wide clinical application. To conclude, if you look to help your patients more effectively by providing personalized, holistic and natural solutions to their health challenges, Chinese herbal medicine is a powerful tool, but only if you approach learning it in a systematic way. Join the certification programs and I will share with you my love for herbs and how to apply them with clarity, structure, and consistent clinical results.